What's going on, everybody? Hope that you're having a blessed morning. This is EM Gaming, y'all, and uh, don't be thrown off by the title. Yes, I am going to discuss Madden 19. Um, so this morning I woke up to the interview with Sim. I'm just calling him Sim for short. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the game changer, big time Madden YouTuber. He had an interview with Rex Dixon this morning. It was about 23 minutes long, and it was a very informative interview. So I'll get straight into that, and then stay tuned to the end because I promise you, I'm just gonna let you know why I said Madden 19. Or actually, I'll let you know during this conversation. So, what Rex confirmed about Madden 18 is that what we wanted with the sidelines, y'all, we got it. Now, as far as the sidelines being more full and stuff like that, I don't know that yet. But he did confirm that the sidelines are interactive. He said similar to. He said it was like it was in NFL 2K5. Now, this surprised me a lot and didn't surprise me. Some people used to think that EA was, kind of like not paying attention to other games and stuff. Well, Rex Dixon actually is paying attention to other games that are out. So he took this from 2K5, where basically if a player runs out of bounds, that you're going to have, I would assume if it's the away team, those guys are just going to move out the way. But if it's the home team, they're actually going to help the player up and things of that nature. And in my mind, for me to see that, I'm going to assume, because I haven't seen gameplay yet, that the players on the sideline actually look just like the players on the field. They don't look like those PlayStation 2 generic characters. Also, same thing with the coaches. And then the guys if you're running out the back of the end zone after a touchdown, you're going to have the cameramen and people moving out of your way, which is awesome. So the sidelines come alive. I'm going to summarize that to this. They promised live worlds with the Ignite engine. They weren't able to deliver that. Live worlds meaning the crowds, the sidelines, and everything. While they promised that with the Ignite engine, which we should have saw in 16 and 17, respectively, we're getting to see that with the Frostbite engine. Also, Rex talked about the lighting and the shading of the players, which I touched on yesterday. Some people are saying they didn't like or they expected more from the player models, and I told y'all the player models aren't going to be that much improved. Now, when you get on the Xbox Scorpio or Xbox X, then you'll see more graphic fidelity in it because they're able to process more. This doesn't mean that the characters aren't, the player models aren't improved though, because from what I've heard, if you zoom in on the players, you can really see a lot more detail. And also, because of the Frostbite engine, there is going to be an upgrade to the player models, just not to the level that you potentially saw like in the Ezekiel Elliott spin move thing. But that's yet to be determined. We'll wait till we get our hands on that. Also, they talked about the grass, the stadiums, like everything looks better. Now, dynamic weather. Rex said in this interview that the weather is improved. He said, and it seemed like he was listening to what we were saying, but he said that as far as like the weather making an impact on the game, he said that didn't make it into this year's game, but it is definitely on the top of the list for next year. Yeah. Then he talked about long shot. Sim asked him, is long shot, people were looking more for a career mode type of story. Now, this is where I was like, are you serious, dude? Rex said, well, we know that like 2K had my player mode. We know how previous Maddens had superstar mode. He said they wanted to do something different. Wow. Rex, we would have totally loved that to be a story or career mode for a single player. That would have been perfect. That is exactly what we was asking for. However, y'all, and this is where it gets important, our feedback is going to matter. So I said that I think that they already have long shots completed. They're just going to release it within each year of Madden. according to what Rex said today, and I'm going to say it, that's not true. Because what Rex said is that, okay, he said, if the community comes back and says, he said, the way that Longshot is set up, going forward, we can make it into a create a character mode. Or we can just continue with the story. That is dependent on what the community wants, y'all. So I would even say now to go, if you're wanting me, I'm wanting to be able to create my character, play through a superstar type of mode. I'm going to go ahead and start voicing my opinions now. And I implore you to do the same and stay vigilant. Because what Rex said is that if the community comes and says, hey, we want to be able to create our character and customize a character and play it like a superstar mode, he said they'll make it that way. He said, but if not, they'll just continue on with the story, kind of like FIFA did. He said long shots isn't even like FIFA, but it is. We know it. Now, on to the juicy stuff. Franchise. He said that they would release some information about franchise. He said this on Twitter, probably in July. Now, I got a little bit of ray of hope because I was like, well, maybe he has some surprises for us from franchise mode. I don't think that he does. Listening to this interview, he essentially said that because of the time frame, a lot of the resources for franchise and presentation were actually sent to help out put together long shots. And with that being said, while we may see minor improvements to franchise, he mentioned like the defensive assignments and things like that, which to me is really gameplay related. But anyway, the draft board, stuff like that. He said that the reason they didn't just focus on franchise is because, like I told y'all, remember when I told y'all EA was bringing all their systems to the Frostbite to play off of each other? Well, he said that if you go and look, and this is a clue, he said if you pay attention to what NBA Live this year is going to do with their franchise mode, it gives you a look into what we plan on doing with franchise mode in the future. So, y'all, once we start getting information about NBA Live 18's franchise mode and how they run it, then we can kind of get a sense of where EA is wanting to go with their franchise mode. So I look for NBA Live 18 franchise mode to be very in-depth. Now, what he said was the same thing I just said. They want, being on the Frostbite, they want all the teams working collectively so that I assume like the franchise modes and all the games pretty much run the same with their own bit of uniqueness in a sense. So franchise mode, he said, for people thinking that we're only focusing on MUT, we're not focusing on franchise mode, we are. What we have done is laid the groundwork to be able to deliver some groundbreaking stuff in franchise mode going forward. So I'm not too upset about that because one thing is for sure, with the gameplay playing the way that it does, I'll definitely have more fun in franchise mode. Presentation may not be there. Okay, I can get used to that. The biggest thing and the biggest draw in playing Madden is how the players play and the gameplay. And since the sidelines are improved, and how the players control are improved, I promise y'all, we are going, even though the presentation may be the same, you are going to get a different feel for Madden with the graphics and everything. It's just going to feel like a different game. So, now that we know that about franchise mode, they're not planning on releasing a lot until next year or doing a lot until next year. We need to be paying attention to NBA Live's franchise mode. Now, it gets deeper. He said, he talked about the Play Now Live. So what Play Now Live is, if you remember back from NBA Live, the older models, whenever a game was live, the next day you would be able to play that game with the exact same rosters and everything, conditions and all of that. He said in 18, Madden 18, you will be able to play those now live games and convert it straight into a franchise mode. And he said, now, what's beneficial to the he said, I know what you're saying. How does that benefit us in franchise mode? He said, what it does is it allows for updates for live commentary and updates for live things to be added into franchise mode. So y'all remember probably the day before yesterday, I did a video and I ran it on Twitter that it's not fair that it's 2 months to release and Madden Ultimate Team is still getting new content. This was the whole thing that sparked the debate about DLC in Madden. And I said that it would be nice if franchise mode got live updates, such as, roster updates, commentary updates, or they can add things to franchise mode during the Madden season. Well, guess what? In Madden 19, it's going to happen. Rex said with the Play Now Live feature in Madden 18, what it does is it builds the groundwork for them to do live updates for franchise mode going forward. Live commentary, live commentary, live rosters. He said similar to how we did with Madden Ultimate Team, with Thanksgiving, Easter, and all this other stuff. He said we'll be able to do live updates to things in franchise mode. So that is a plus going forward. Also, celebrations. Now, he said there are celebrations in the game. He said there are some, player-specific celebrations that had to take a back seat because of everything else that was going on, but they're trying to finish those and trying to get them put into the game. He said he saw them. It sounds like the finish. Now they're just trying to put them into the game. It gets better. He said team celebrations are in the game. He said, but with the NFL rule changes, they don't know what they're going to be able to do with celebrations until about maybe the 4th week of the NFL season. But guess what? Celebrations are now going to be a part of the live game updates. Yes. So what they're doing is by watching the game in real life, they're able to put those celebrations in the game through a live update. Essentially, Madden is transitioning to more of an online type of game, a live online game where whatever happens in the real world instantaneously gets put into Madden. And I think that is awesome. And the last thing, he talked about arcade mode, simulation, and competitive mode. They're very similar to what I thought. Arcade mode, similar to the beginner level. Simulation mode is geared more towards the player attributes. He said player attributes really matter. So if you have a garbage offensive line, it's going to feel like that in the game. And I'm happy about that. If you have your quarterback gets hurt, you get a backup quarterback comes in or a third string quarterback comes in, he says you're going to feel that. And that's awesome. I love that because attributes should always matter. That's in simulation mode. So I'll probably be playing simulation mode more. Now, competitive mode, he said, is geared more towards, like I told y'all, user control. So, you might can have a third string quarterback, but he could be good because you're able to control the outcome of how he plays. So in franchise mode, I'll probably more or less play simulation mode because I would like to stay true to the attributes, although a character may struggle to be able to bring them up. But I might dibble and dabble with that competitive mode too. So all in all, y'all, he gave a lot of really good information. Go check out that interview. But that's why I titled this video Madden 19, the year of the connected franchise, because right now the groundwork is laid. While we won't see a lot of improvements in franchise mode and presentation this year, the game is set up to where they can do live updates to presentation and franchise mode going forward. So that's my take on it, y'all. What do y'all think in the comment section down below? Like I said, go check out Mr. Sims. I think it's Sim Ballerific or something to that effect. Go check out his interview with Rex Dixon, man. And don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more late breaking news and things of that nature on Madden. Until next time, y'all, and God bless.